Hello, educators. My name is Livio Bolzan. I'm one of the co-founders of Codemoji. So today I'm going to walk you through the HTML expert course that we have. So this course is quite a bit longer than many of them, and it also has, very detailed line by line code explanations. We have these in all of our advanced lessons and courses. So we're just going to go through it right now really quickly. On the right, you'll be able to see line by line what's going on, and the check mark will show you when you have written that. So HTML is hypertext markup language. This is what HTML is. So we are using some tags we've learned in the prior two courses, but now we're typing them. So you can see that now we have added an h1 tag, a body tag, and an HTML tag. So my first header was created, the instruction box closes, and the students can see the project they just created. As you know, in the student version of this, they have a couple extra things above the computer. This is from a teacher view, so it doesn't have as many bells and whistles as the student version does. So now we're going to go over paragraph. So basically a paragraph tag, also known as a P tag, lets you put text. That's the text. That's what everybody uses to represent, just normal information. So again, you can see there's some reinforcement of some of the different concepts. We hope by the end of all three courses together, the students have a super good understanding of a handful of different HTML and CSS elements and tags, and they'll be able to, technically build their own web page outside of our platform. So you can see the paragraph tag is a bit smaller than the H1 tag that we used in the prior lesson, so you can explain that as well. We have also previously went over that in quite a lot of detail. So you can see these courses are pretty well structured, so very self-paced. I'm just going to give a little bit of insight onto different stuff to maybe cover a little bit. So in lesson 3, you can explain to the students that the span tag acts very much the same way as the P tag. As you'll see, the text sizing will be the same. It's just kind of, different people have different preferences in coding. And sometimes span is used for a couple different things. But in many cases, the convention nowadays is many people just use just the P tag. So you can see block code elements is used to indicate the enclosed text as a quotation. So we're going to just type HTML again, click body tag, block quote, my first block quote. So you can see pretty cool on the side here, line by line, what's going on. Quote, body, HTML. Now we can see we added a block quote. So you can see it's blocked a little bit. It's a little bit away from the left side of the screen as well. So now we're going to use the strong tag. So the strong tag does very much the same stuff as the bold tag. We don't add the bold tag into any of our lessons because we feel the strong tag is more current and used more in the industry to represent bold text. Even though bold might seem like more semantic, strong tag is what the industry is using pretty widespread. So italics. So this is something you might have covered with your students in English or any other subject. Italics is, we use it in code, we use it in writing, we use it in everyday life. So it's indicated by the I tag. As you can see, if you type something wrong, as I do once in a while, we have a little warning system that lets you know what's going on. Now we're going to add a quick image. So lesson 7 is an image tag. So now students are able to add the same images they were to add earlier, but here is some of the code behind what's happening. And this is kind of a cool progression, and students will have a better love and understanding of what they were doing in earlier lessons. So you can see we just added a lion there. So really an image tag is image and then the source. So what kind of image, what is it? Usually this is external or internal. It depends how you're handling your images. You can also do this with URLs. In this case, we did lion, which is a PNG as well. So once we added that, it was added to our computer screen. So now we're going to talk about links. So every website has a ton of links. So links are represented by an A tag. An A tag, which is represented by the link, and then an href that goes inside of the A tag, which is the URL that you would like it to go to or the page. So in this case, we are using a slash, which represents just the home directory, because we don't want the students to get too off track if possible. HTML. So you can see we have a little link here that students can click. So here's just some music. Again, we're using the source tag, so we can add the source of the music. In this case, it is in MP4, which is a audio file, body, HTML. Boom. So you'll have to click play, because it does not autoplay. And once you've done that, it'll play the music. So we're going to learn about a video tag right now. So video tag does what it sounds like. It'll add a video. Again, we are using a source attribute inside of the video tag to represent which video we would like to have the screen display. So you can explain to your students the difference between an MP4 and MP3 and all those different file types. Students might enjoy that. So you can see it's very straightforward, and every lesson has a body tag and an HTML tag, because those are used in every single web page. So we can see the little video there. Hopefully don't have your students watch all 16 minutes of it, but we do have a long video there. So we have our map tag. So map tags are really cool. We have a couple, as earlier lessons, you're able to add a Google map to your web page and change the location that you'd like it to place. So you can do that as well here. So we are going to place the pin that you see in Google Maps into Germany. And this should take just a second to render. And there you see, we have a pin placed right in Germany. Pretty cool. So break. So we're not breaking up with anyone in this instance. A break tag just represents spacing. So if you want these two pictures to be next to each other, you wouldn't have a break tag. But if you want everything to be above each other, unless you're using divs, which are stacking elements already, you would want to use a BR, also known as a break tag. So we are adding two pictures here, one of a panda and one of a lion. And once we've done that, you will see they're not next to each other, they're above each other. And so there we got our little lion, and then we added our panda head. So just make sure the students need to scroll, obviously, to see both pictures. So we're going to learn about some divs. So divs are used, that's the only thing that's used in the industry to really represent blocks of anything, not text. Usually there's a div and then text will go inside the div, inside of p tags. But divs are all your squares. So if you ever go to a website and it seems like there's like a square box or something, that's going to be a div most of the time. Some websites are structured a little bit older with TR tags and so on, but nowadays everybody uses divs because they're a lot easier and nicer to work with. Divs are the industry standard. Boom. So we just added my first div and below it, so there are stacking elements, so they go up and down. So you can see we just added a little bit of text in that, so on. So we're going to add our first list right here. So we used an unordered list first, then we use an IL, and on the right you can see better descriptions of the tags. I think lists are super cool. Just gonna finish off some of our little syntax here. Body, HTML. So we just added a list. You can see we have 2 list items there. So again, we're going to add our HTML, our body, our UL, because we're dealing with a list, our UI. Now we're going to add an image into the list as well. We're just going to add another LI, and then we need to boom, boom. We're opening another. Now we're going to add a picture of a cat to our site. And once we do that, you can add the UL and then the body. Once we've added everything, we can see we have our 2 things listed together. You can see that by the little dots. So now we're going to do one of the later lessons. I'm not going to go through all of them, so this video will be a little bit shorter, as going through all of it it'll take a lot longer. But if you would just like to go through the lessons at your own pace, you can as a teacher. Many of the things are relatively self-explanatory, so hopefully you get a good idea of what is going on in every lesson. So I'm just going to finish up and do the last one here. You can always reach out to our team at any point and ask any questions. We are available via live chat during normal business hours. And then if our live chat is online, we will be online then as well. So now we're just adding the last few things that we need to make this lesson work. And you can see the lessons are slowly getting longer and longer. So we just added a cat list. So we did cat lists, we added a picture of a cat. Pretty cool. So that's where I'm going to finish up today. You can also finish through the rest of the lessons at your own pace. Please let me know if you have any questions. And this has been the HTML export tutorial.